Welcome in, everybody. Ty Bartel in with a very special edition of Coach's Corner. It's our first ever from this school, making their debut this upcoming fall season. It's the Ravenna Southeast Pirates that are going to be taking their reins here on YSN, and I'm there with our football skipper today. Patrick Youel joins me. Coach Youel, how are we doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having us. And it's sad that I'm the first person that you're gonna talk to. So, no, we're tremendously excited as a school district to join the MVAC. They've been nothing but welcoming and awesome to us since this became official. And Mr. Mang and all the superintendents and all the athletic directors have been nothing but great. So looking forward to finally, again, we've played some of these schools in some different sports, but to be full-fledged in and to start to develop some relationships and rivalries is really something that we're all looking forward to as an athletic department and certainly as a football program.
I certainly will dive into that, and we'll get your perspective on some of joining the MVAC and some of the teams you're going to be facing. Prior to that, though, I want to get to know a little bit about you. I want to introduce you to the rest of the Mahoning Valley and beyond too, and the multiple counties that we covered too. To those that are unfamiliar, maybe with Southeast, 10+ years with the program. So you've been there for a hot minute, a decade plus too. Talk to me a little bit about you, your coaching style too. What keeps you coming back to the Southeast Pirates year in and year out?
Well, the first thing is what keeps me coming back are the kids, our program, our school district, our superintendent, our high school principal, all of those individuals. This is a special place. It really is. And I know there's great people and great kids everywhere, and we have a ton of them here. And Bob Dunn and Steve Sigworth. Bob is our superintendent. Steve Sigworth is our high school principal. They actually hired me 11 years ago, and they've been nothing but short of amazing to me in my professional and personal growth. And wouldn't be sitting here today without them. And but again, coached a lot of kids in 11 years, and I think the longevity of a lot of people here. You're gonna interview our volleyball coach at some point. She's been here 51 years. She's been teaching and coaching here longer than I've been alive by about 8 years. So I think those are the things that speak volumes to this place. It's not just one person, one thing. It's just the community. And once they embrace you, once you become a Southeast Pirate, it's a forever type of a thing. And so it's been easy for me. My son goes to school here. I have another son who's 5 who will go to school here. So it's not been why did you stay? It's why wouldn't I stay? I've been very blessed with a great board of education, great board members, and all of that. And like I said, great coaches throughout my 11 years here, and just thankful that they've kept letting me come back to be the head football coach here.
Let's talk a little bit football too. Let's talk about the team you're going to be fielding this season, some returners and maybe some new faces we can expect to see for the Pirates in this 2024 squad.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty young. We have 7 seniors. We actually have 8 seniors. One of them actually hurt himself, before lacrosse season in the spring. So unfortunately, he's going to have to miss his senior year. So we have seven seniors that are going to suit up in pads. All 7 of them were huge contributors for us last year. I'd have to do some number crunching, but a lot of them are going to be 3-year letter winners for us in what we've done. So Zach Keto is going to return as a free safety and a wide receiver for us. Dylan Donnell, inside linebacker and fullback. Caleb Miller, he's our anchor up front. He'll be a 3-year starter for us on the defensive line. And then he's also going to be a 2-way guy and be the anchor of our offensive line. So he's been really good for us for 3 years now as a leader and just as one of our guys up front. And then we have Malachi Kettler, who's battling for some time at offensive line position. And then we have the Mejia twins, Austin and Antonio. Austin returns. He'll be a starting defensive back for us and a wide receiver. And then Antonio was our leading rusher last year. He rushed for 1,100 yards. And so we're looking for some big things for him. And he's going to contribute on the defensive side more this year than he did last year in what we're doing schematically. So let me make sure I shouted out all my seniors. I think I did. That should be 7 of them. Just let me look down my roster here. I'm getting old, so I need
There's
them.
plenty of names too in football.
I forgot one, and he's the big one. He's actually been our. So I'm sad that I had to look for him. He's at the bottom, but he's actually been the. We have an accountability club here that we started in the winter, and he's been the winner of that every season. He hasn't missed a football function other than to coach powder puff football for 2 days and to go on vacation with his family, and that's Jack Muldowney. So he's probably the glue that holds us together in a lot of ways. And so again, he'll be a receiver and a defensive lineman for us. He's 6'4", 215. I've never coached here in 11 years without a Muldowney on my team. His older brother was a sophomore when I got here. His other brother is going to be is a scholarship kid at Kent State this year, going to be a starting tight end for them at Kent State this year. And so Jack, and then he's got some cousins in the younger grades that I'll coach. So certainly, last but not least, in Jack Muldowney and that. And so our seniors are going to be tremendously important. Like I said, it's quality over quantity with them. And numbers. And then we have a lot of young kids that have played a lot of football for us. We have 4 sophomores that all lettered as freshmen: Aiden McCann, Bruce Nelson, Nate Rivera, and Lucas Willett. And then we have a junior class that as sophomores were tremendous. And again, as we look down that list, Joe Sherish will be a huge contributor for us. Maverick Wood is dynamic and just a hell of an athlete, and he's going to be great for us. Just keep going down the list. Landon Durston was started for us on both sides of the ball last year as a sophomore at inside linebacker and offensive line. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but those guys are huge, returners. And then we got a number of other young guys that are battling for positions, especially up front. We graduated three of our 5 seniors, or 3 of our 5 offensive linemen were seniors. So we only have 2 guys, up front where most high school teams make their hay, if you will. And so we've got to grow and develop there, and they're doing a really nice job. Cash Leonard and as I said, Malachi Kettler, Travis Amacarella. Those are some of the guys in the battle, and then Aiden McCann, Liam McCann, Daniel Clint, Nate Machino. So we've got a lot of names. We just got to get them up to there. So again, we got a lot of young kids. We got about 46 kids on the team. One of them is a kicker that we share with the soccer team. He's a great kid, Tristan Finch. But so we have about 44 guys on our roster, 45 with our kicker, and obviously he's part of our team. So I don't, but we have 44 guys here every day. And again, the nice thing about them is they're working hard and getting after it and just trying to get better every day. And that's what we're talking about, right? We want to be better today than we were yesterday. I know it's all cliche, 1% better, however you want to say it, but everything matters. And luckily for us, we still have 26 days until it matters in the win-loss column. As we open up on August 24th. So again, just, today was another camp day. We got a camp day tomorrow, and then obviously mandatory days begin on Thursday. And but our kids have been showing up, since July 9th, and just doing a great job.
You talk about all these new faces too, and maybe some new things you're going to see with the team this year. Do we still see the single wing pretty frequently on the offensive side this year?
Yes, but also no. And I think that's our single wing is kind of what we've established around here. We thought of like Garrettsville, that it's no surprise to the MVAC because Garrettsville's been dominating with it, for the last few years. But with our personnel and our skill set, we're going to be a little bit more balanced, a little bit more traditional, if you will. We do have a new offensive coordinator this year. He's not really new to me. He was with me from 15 to 2018. Went on to be a head coach. And luckily for me, I was able to bring him back here last year. The timing of his return didn't allow for him to coordinate either side of the ball per se. He tremendously helped out on the offense or the defensive side because he's learning the single wing, and it'll certainly be part of our identity of who we are. But John Kinsey will be our offensive coordinator, and so again, he's been a head coach. He's been an offensive coordinator, coaching regional final games as an OC. So we're doing some things to match our personnel with what we have, but certainly, we just had the long discussion today of our wing principles, and he and I at the break of how we're going to continue that, because I do believe we invested mightily in it, but again, when you're a small high school, like we are, you have your personnel, you have what you have, and you got to match that. And so I think offensively and defensively, we're trying our best to put our kids in the best possible position to compete every Friday night. And so the long and short of that is yes and no, and not tried to disrupt anybody. Yeah, maybe throw them off their game a little bit, but no, it'll be a part of what we do, but certainly a little bit more traditional this year.
I know you were mentioning conference and the county opponent, Garrettsville Garfield, but I want to talk about Akron Garfield, because that's week 1. And I know that's what a lot of coaches, all you guys, you're gearing up for week 1 right now. Talk to me on what you've seen, what you know from Akron Garfield. How are you going to have your boys ready for week 1 to compete and maybe even walk out winners week 1?
Yeah, I don't know a ton. Obviously we did have a 7-on-7 against an Akron City Series team in Akron North. And so I tried to pick their coach's brain a little bit. Coach Boyd is, he knows a guy on our staff pretty well. And so there's that, familiarity. We have a film or two on them. But again, what you were last year compared to this year becomes difficult. But obviously they're a team that's Division II, Region 5. We're Division 5, so obviously they're a bigger school, and we have great respect. We've played Akron North over the last few years, and understand what they have athletically and what they're able to do, and so again we need to get to see some of their scrimmages and gather that. The old cliche is that you got to focus on us, and a lot of that is true, right? I mean, we got to, we'll have to do our game plan and due diligence of figuring out what matchups, benefit us against them, and as we get closer to that. But today and probably for the next 2 weeks, it's really, we've got some position battles. We've got some guys that whether it's for whatever reason they weren't with us during camp, they've got some learning and catching up. We still got some install to do on both sides of the ball. Special teams become, a critical. They're always a critical piece, but now as we get into some mandatory, 2-a-days, you kind of crunch for time, so you hit some specialists and those things during camp. At least we do, and so now we get into our special team stuff. So I think for the next couple of weeks, we're going to try to steal. Based off of the film we have of Akron Garfield, and try to match some personnel. And, obviously as previews come out, we'll be doing just like everybody else of figuring out who's on their roster, who's back, who's not, who are they highlighting as their go-to people, and trying to match stats and do all that stuff. But I think for the next couple of weeks, whether it's cliche or not, it really is about us and getting ourselves in position and getting ourselves in shape and making sure, that we're healthy. And just like anybody else, we've got to stay healthy. That question's always asked, what are you most nervous about? And certainly for us, it's just depth. It's injuries. We feel like we have a little bit of depth, but, one injury could be, 4 or 5 positions at a school like ours, where you got a kid who plays offense, defense. He's on 2 special teams. He's your holder, whatever that is. So, it's about us for the next couple of weeks, and we'll chip away at Garfield as we see him in scrimmages, and maybe compare what they did last year to what they're doing in the scrimmage this year, and see if that film benefits us at all. As that goes. For us, we play 8 new opponents this year. So it's one of those, again, you have films on, we've gotten some films, or we saw some teams last year that did certain things. And, one of the 2 teams that return on our schedule is a league opponent champion, but they have a new coach. So I don't know what Coach Parisi is going to be doing out there, as far as, I know he's got some really good running backs and a couple of really good offensive linemen, and they're going to be good, but what are they doing schematically? It's probably different than the film we have. So, we only play Matthews and Champion are the only two teams on our schedule that we played a year ago. So that's exciting, and it's also a little bit scary as you make your plans and you prepare. So again, we're going to get ourselves ready, and then as things progress, when you talk about Liberty and LeBray, or maybe watching a film on them from last year, we played them weeks 9 and 10. Who they were last year is maybe a far cry of who they're going to be by weeks.
You got weeks. Yeah, you got a
year. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so from year to year, you grow and change. And then obviously throughout the course of the season. So you get to, I mean, I'm certainly worried about Liberty. I've watched their preview. Their quarterback looks unbelievable. LeBray's got some dudes. This conference is top to bottom is something that is exciting. And just the parity and the competitiveness. Obviously we want to compete every Friday and be in that mix, and we just feel like we're a really good fit, and that's one of the things we really felt when we sold ourselves to the MVAC as a school district. We bumped back to Division 5. We've been Division 6 in football, and we've been Division 3 in other sports, and now with the expanded divisions we're 4 and 5 and so on. But when we sold ourselves to the MVAC, really we were looking for a home, and we really felt like whatever way they went, whether it be the Scarlet tier, there's some Division 6, Division 7 schools in there football wise, so we could have fit their numbers wise. We felt like we could fit with the gray tier, and obviously they decided that we were best fit in the gray tier, which is great. And there's great football on both sides. I mean, hell, the Scarlet tier has a meat grinder in Springfield and Reserve and Lowville and Ridge. I'm Coach Shaner and Coach Allen over at Ridge, and so now you got Garrettsville and Brookfield and Crestview and all the other schools, Liberty, LeBray, Champion, Newton Falls. Who the hell am I forgetting? Because I'm gonna leave somebody else on their bulletin board.
It's your first time with us.
I'm trying to. I as much as I know them all. I always and I never forget the same one. I forget. I always seem to forget one. Everybody asks who's in the league, and I get going and either I've named all 7 and I'm looking for the 8th, and I'm like, duh, it's us, or on the flip side, I always forget one school. And it's always a different school. Like I forgot this team, so I think that familiarity though, and just, we had our all coaches meeting yesterday, our athletic department, all coaches meeting yesterday. And it was weird for the first time. Like I gave out the MVAC directory of where the address of every high school and middle school, so our coaches, know where we're going, like where are we playing golf this year? Where are we playing, and things that maybe, so all exciting, but all kind of new for everyone. And, we've been in some of these stadiums, football wise. We played JFK at Liberty, so we've been in Liberty Stadium. Obviously, we've played at Champion. We've been to Garrettsville before, but I've been to LeBray. We played a boys basketball game there in a tournament, but I've never seen their football stadium. I don't even know. I think it's on campus in the back, right? So. We got our asses, we got our butts kicked by Crestview in the playoffs a few years ago. So we've been there, unfortunately. But Brookfield, I've been to Brookfield for basketball, never been there for football. So I think there's, again, an excitement of where we're going. And then also just an uneasy, nervousness of new. Change is always that way in anything you do. So, but much more excited. And again, just feel at home, and that's a credit to everyone who's related to the MVAC. Again, I've had a relationship with Jim Flegger at Garfield as the AD from when he was in the PTC, and got to share being the AD, with him there, and Mike DeVise a little bit. So they've been some friendly faces to help that transition into the MVAC meetings, but everybody's been incredible. I mean, all the ADs and just everyone's so awesome. And when you have 16 schools, 17 schools, to find everybody kind of wanting to work on the same page and row in the same direction, that's pretty awesome.
I know myself a Mike DeVise too. I love Mike, and I love everything he does too for sports and everything. I'm looking forward to talking to him as well. Before we end this conversation, though, and before we start looking forward to our first Southeast Pirate games, both volleyball and football on the network, let's just get the community a little bit fired up. Let them know what they can expect to see on August 23rd, and more importantly, August 30th, when you guys are returning home against Matthews too. Let them know why they should come out, support this Pirates team again, and why they should be rocking those stands.
Yeah, I mean, like it the same as it's been for the last hopefully 11 years. Our kids are great. They're going to play hard. And we want to just be who we are and do what we do. And again, I think for us, our kids are like, they're going to play hard and they're going to do what we ask them to do. We're gonna put everything we got into game planning to make us successful. And our philosophy around here is OTOV, one team, one vision. Again, we try to live that mantra of what it means in our mission statement. And so I think I hope that's what they see is our kids trying to live that out every day, on the field. And when we get back home on the 30th, that's even a more awesome experience. That's our military appreciation night. So again, we'll have our veterans here. We'll do our military appreciation. So not only are you going to see the Pirates at home for the first time in 2024, but also it'll be an amazing night to experience, honoring our veterans and working with the National Guard for the last few years in Operation Buckeye Guard. That'll be a special night, just for our community and the veterans, and active military and first responders in our community that night. So yeah, it'll be exciting. Every Friday night is exciting. I think that's the beauty of high school football, and just the pageantry of it all, whether it be, the band and the concession stand and the smell and the game. And, certainly I'm selfish and the game is big for me and that, but as the AD, I also understand the big picture and what a Friday night means to a community as a whole and the rallying part that can be for everyone involved. So I like I said, I just think we're excited. We think that this group can really do some special things. We're still young, which is really exciting that we've got a lot of room to grow, but a lot of experience even with our youth. So just looking forward to we actually open up on Saturday afternoon on the 24th at 2 p.m.
Change the schedule then. Thank you on that.
Yeah. So that is, so we don't get to experience Friday night the first week, but it'll be, a Saturday afternoon will be.
You get to have it in front of the home crowd, though. First Friday night is in front of a home crowd. Though.
Absolutely. It's our first day of school too. So we got to navigate that, as far as it really is. We start in school on a Friday just because of some professional development and teacher things. So, my staff and I are working through that I think we might start school as football players on Wednesday to get the bodies used to that morning grind, but that's a work in progress. So, but yeah, absolutely. That first day here is going to be exciting because you have that first day of school vibe and juice, and you're going to say your name 8 times in 8 different periods and write on a note card most likely and do all those things and then turn around and we're gonna have a spectacle outside. So really excited. It's hard to believe that it's here. People have asked me, how was your summer, Coach? We were in school till June 8th, and then before you know it, it's like, oh man, it's July 9th and we're in camp. And before we know it, next Friday we scrimmage, the following week we scrimmage, and then we're playing ball games. And so again, just every day's going fast. But I guess if you're loving what you're doing, and I do, I love our kids, I love our staff. I got an incredible staff, 3 former head coaches on my staff, 8 guys that work in this room that work unconditionally for our kids. And just, we got great kids. As I said before, what keeps me at Southeast is our kids, our community. And it's just a special place. And every place is different, and every place is obviously got things that you wish, I was just talking to a parent, if I wish life was more like a Chipotle where I could have this,
have it your way.
or Burger King. I want to have it my way, but that's not real life. And so I think, like anything, right. You find the great in what you're doing, and you try to change and deal with the things that aren't perfect and keep grinding. That's my philosophy. So certainly love this place and super excited to be joining the MVAC and obviously that relationship with Weiss. And I got to get my banner.
Yeah.
John Mang has been all over me that I got to get my banner in my stadium and in my gym, that I got to get them hung. So I don't know if you have anything to do with that, but get them to me so I can.
Yeah, we'll get them to you.
All right. Yeah, John Mang's all over it. Get your YSN stuff up, Youel. I got you. I'm on it, John.
I love your passion for the student athletes. I love the culture you've created and you continue to create. And I just love the passion, like I said, that you have for your student athletes and the students as a whole too. I think this is going to be a really good relationship between us and you guys too. We got a lot in common then with us over here at YSN. We're so looking forward to the season, Coach. We're looking forward to getting some Pirates football and all kinds of sports on the network, too, and starting to spotlight Southeast Ravenna, too, and letting them know what you guys are all about down there.
Awesome. Well, again, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for having me. Look forward to this relationship for a long time. And again, I've watched some of the things you guys do on YSN, whether it be just to catch a game on a Friday night or, trying to catch what JFK was doing, from the league or even when as our basketball teams, whatever. So you guys do an incredible job and really looking forward to that partnership. And again, anytime you can, sell student athletes and promote them, not sell them, but promote them and give them their DAP, like you said before the interview, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of the local media outlets, that here in Portage County. Tom Nader does an incredible job, and Austin Maludik does a really good job. YSN does an incredible job. I don't know if I'm stepping on toes, but I just think it's so awesome how much you guys, all of those groups and just our student athletes at the high school level they're so lucky to have so many groups that care about high school sports and care about, the Valley and different places that promote them and give them the love that they deserve. So thank you guys so much for that at YSN.
We're all about loving the student athletes too, and we're looking forward to giving you guys some spotlight that you've never seen before.
All right,
upcoming fall season.
I'm holding you to that. I'm holding you to that. This is being recorded right now. That was recorded. Show us the love.
We wouldn't have 60 plus schools if we weren't holding true to our promises, Coach. Sure. I promise you're going to get a spotlight like you've never seen before. This has been our first edition of Coach's Corner with the Southeast skipper of their football team, Mr. Patrick Youel.
Thank you, guys.